Good evening. My name is Nisi. I live in Maryland in Zone 7B, and it has been 120 days since I planted my sweet potato slips. And so now it is time to find out, did I actually get sweet potatoes? So, unlike regular potatoes, sweet potatoes grow from the slip. Regular potatoes, you can kind of cut up the potato, and as long as it's chitted, then you'll get potatoes, right? Or you should get potatoes. I didn't see any this year. I had some slips that were given to me, and so I'm actually going to get into at least one of these containers because it's getting starting to get dark early, and my goal is to see if there are any sweet potatoes. Fingers crossed. I put 3 slips in each container, so my hope is I'm get at least 6 sweet potatoes. So let's find out. All right, we've got a container, lots of little bugs. This looks very robust. But is there a sweet potato in here? My question. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna pull it up. That's right, right? Just pull it. Okay. Well, there's nothing attached here. Should there be a sweet potato there? Um. Oh, does that mean there's no sweet potatoes? That does not mean that. Oh, MG. Come on, out of here, boo. I got one. Okay. These need to dry out, but that is definitely a sweet potato. Okay, your little feet are dirty, and this is white, so no. Okay, see if we can find some more. Like, this looks like clearly there was going to be potatoes, and then it was like, you know what? I don't think we want to be a potato. So, ah, squirrels are thugs, still are all the time. Um, yeah, I just don't know what happened here. So, I'm going to keep watering the other container and let it grow because there were some potatoes in here. Um, my one true winner. This kind of funny looking one, but clearly that is a potato. Um, here, another small one, but clearly a potato. And then all of these that looked like they was going to be amazing, and then nothing happened. I put these in on May the 29th, so there should be something, right? And there is something, but not as robust as I was imagining. So I got lots of greenery, um, but no potato, and I honestly don't know why. So I'm going to talk to my garden buddy who gave me the slips and see what she says. Oh boy, I might have to definitely wash this chair. Oh, buddy, we got dirt on the buddy. Sweet boy. But yeah, we got to figure out what went wrong because I think there's still a chance for things to grow over there in the other container, but I don't know what went wrong with this one. Yeah, I have no idea. So I'm going to wash my hands. This is kind of a fail. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to call it a fail. You know why? Because I got one potato. Okay. This is the potato. I'm going to let it dry out and then I'm going to eat it. My solitary sweet potato. And my hope is that there's going to be more growing over there. Well, this is not my solitary. I've got a few. We're going to have to figure out where we went wrong because the slips were planted. Everything seemed to be fine. The greenery was growing. It was getting plenty of sun. My garden buddy asked me if I got any sweet potato flowers, which I didn't. I didn't even know that sweet potatoes made flowers. So I would ask any of you who had successful sweet potato harvest, did you get flowers? Because I didn't get any. And I got very few sweet potatoes. So it's disappointing, but I've got another container over there. I'm going to let it keep going until it's pretty much died back and just keep watering it and see what we get because there's no reason that we didn't get growth. There's nothing that I can see. So I'm sitting on the deck, the lower deck here. You can see my Golden Falls redbud there. Still doing okay. This is its first year here at the house. So I think it's growing just fine. The asters there. Okay, these problematic crepe myrtles. So these are supposed to be dwarf crepe myrtles. And I don't know if you can see, let's see if I can zoom in and you can see all of the yellow, those are like wasps, not like wasps, those are wasps because it got hit really hard with aphids and so they're eating the aphids, which is perfectly fine. The crepe myrtles are deciduous, so they won't be back. Well, they will be back next year, but I have to make a determination on whether or not I want to keep them because my problem with them is that they're supposed to be 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. That's easily better than 4 feet. Um, the greenery for my peony looking beautiful. Everything's looking good. A little green bush down there for my Shasta daisies, and I went ahead and cut them back. What's popping up from the soil is a combination of muscari and grape hyacinth. So they're both down there. I pulled out my Cryptomeria japonica. It just completely died in the heat wave that we had. So I just pulled it and I have to decide what I'm going to put there. And since I have some echinacea, I might put this back here because we don't need so many big things. I had in this container earlier my Persian shield plant, some verbena, and Dichondra silver falls, which those again also got hit in the heat wave that we had. So instead, I planted a begonia, and it's doing really well. Isn't that pretty? It's just put on so much growth. It's almost taken over the whole thing. The roses died back. No new buds. This is the blackberry plant, and it's put off its side shoots. So I showed you that before. Blackberry plants are at least multiple year bloomers because you start with the primocane, and then from the primocane, you're going to get floricanes. And on here is where we'll get our blackberries. That's my other sweet potato plant, and we're hopeful. This is my fig tree that I got on clearance from Lowe's, and it was nothing but a twig, but it's putting off some greenery. Hope springs eternal. Ultimately, I'm not going to be able to keep this. If you know anything about figs, they can get 15 by 15, I think. Obviously, I don't have space. One of my friends had some watermelon seeds that they got out of a watermelon and put them in here and said they wanted to see if they would grow. Obviously, they will grow, but I don't know because it's so late in the season. And I told her that she's going to get any watermelons. So I see lots of male flowers. I did not see one female flower. So yeah, just males, no fruits. So if you'll remember, the female flower will have the fruit on the end and on the fruit here, and then there'll be the flower on the end. The male flower will just have the flower. And so that's all we're seeing. It's just males. This is my clematis. I did not see any blooms. So it's obviously put on growth, but no blooms. And right here were the calibrachoa that I planted um, above the clematis, and they're actually looking beautiful and doing quite well. The garlic that I had growing in the cardboard box, I had garlic growing in a cardboard box, and that cardboard box fit the bucket, so I just threw all of that dirt in here. Apparently, the garlic was like, boo boo, we still here. So I have one garlic clove that's growing there, and I'm just going to let it continue to do its thing. Uh, this was a peach tree. I'm going to treat this, and then I'm going to keep it pruned low so I can reach fruit when it comes. But my hope is that I'll see some fruit next year. So this was another container that had a Persian shield, verbena, and the Dichondra Silver Falls. The Dichondra Silver Falls came back. So you can see it's grown. It looks beautiful. This was actually blooming, and it's kind of died back now. Same for this begonia. It was looking quite pretty. I'll insert a picture from when it was thriving. I cut this back, the salvia, I've cut back multiple times this year. So it keeps coming back. Back there was my Casablanca lily. It was quite gorgeous. I only got one. I planted two bulbs. I only got one. Let's see. You can see down there that was the coreopsis that I cut back that bloomed yellow. Let's see. Anything else back here? Uh, sure. My hydrangea. So this is a little quick fire hydrangea. All of the blooms kind of died off on it in the heat wave, but it started putting out new growth. So I think it's going to be perfectly fine. It'll be back next year. Let's see. Yeah, these very much problematic crepe myrtles. So sadly, I don't think I'm going to keep them. I wanted them to be 2.5 by 2.5. They're clearly not 2.5 by 2.5. So I do not believe I'll be keeping them. I might keep one. The other two I'll have to get rid of. Yeah, over there, Sky Pencil Hollies doing okay. There's a little dead in there, but I'll clean that out once everything starts to die back. And you can see that spiky sticking up over there was my calla lily that bloomed, and it did really well, I think. So that's pretty much it for the yard down here. See, my Japanese maple was hit so hard in that heat. It really should not be back here, but I don't know where I'm gonna put it. This is my direct frost brunnera, and it's spreading. So it is a spreader. So you can see it's spreading. Brunnera is deer resistant. So if any of you have deer problem, I don't obviously back here because I have a fence. This is the Lenten roses, and I'll be cutting these back. The Kukura, and that still looks really good. And you can see the hostas also look really good. So ultimately, I think everything did pretty well. I'll probably pull some of this Brunnera and plant it somewhere in my community, because why not? But yeah, I think ultimately it's been a good year. My present plan is to take the few sweet potatoes I have in the house and let them dry out, and we'll see what we get from them ultimately. But though it didn't come out as I wanted to, I'm pleased with what I got, and hope springs eternal. So, you know what we can do? Try again. You know what I'm going to do? Try again. So, that's it, you guys. If you love the Squirrels or Thugs t shirt, I am selling some merch. And it's just funny things that I would say about gardening. This is one of them. The link is in the description. So, feel free to cop one if you want. Other than that, I will catch you on the next one. Bye.